I'm terrible at Mario Kart. Just looking at me, it's pretty obvious why. It's because I'm Asian. So when Poppen announced he was hosting a Mario Kart tournament with 24 other creators, I knew it was the perfect time to finally get rid of these fraud allegations. I secured an invite through legitimate means and ran into my first problem. I don't have a Switch 2. If you haven't been keeping up with me on my Twitter, at Wolfscratch, definitely give me a follow. I had just come back from commentating the biggest Smash tourney in the world, Kaguriri.
Might be failing again! It's gonna be Rainbow!
And I was broke. I could not scrap up enough funds to do the Switch 2 pre-order and just had to watch all my friends get it. And that gave me insane FOMO. But when I finally made enough money, actually finding a place that had a Switch 2 was an entirely different story. Best Buy, Target, Walmart, GameStop, all of them were sold out, and I was running out of time, and also running out of hope. If there's only another place that sold the Switch 2 Mario Kart package that actually had a big inventory. Oh, there we go. The Switch 2 secured, I booted up the game and practiced for less than a day to prepare for the tournament. I was having a hard time choosing what my character I was gonna pick and who I was gonna main. All I knew that I wasn't picking Mario's bum ass. So I decided the best guy that deserves the love was Dry Bones. The Dry Bones fandom is dying. Like the video if you are a true boner. Alright, let's actually talk about the race and the rules of Poppet's Cup. They were actually very simple. We would all race on 12 different maps that were pre-selected by Poppet himself for his cup. At the end of the 12 races, all the points were to be added up and the top 8 will move on to the final knockout tour race. First place gets $200, the second gets $100, and third, gets a high five. The tournament started off as all collabs do with content creators. It didn't start at all, for a very long time. Some people arrived late. We even had an instance where the race ID got leaked, so we had random people joining in, causing, the remaining last few not to be able to enter.
Okay, we're making a new one, I guess.
Please hide your screen. Please hide your screen.
Everyone.
After finally getting everything cleared, we selected the first map, and the race was finally on to see who would win Poppet's Cup.
This is a boys.
Alright, good luck, everyone.
You too. Let's go.
No fun.
You remember when I said I was terrible at this game, but I'd find some way to, avoid the fraud allegations? Here I am. I got 20th and I'm smiling. I'm happy. But here's the thing. You think my goal is to win? No, I've already come to terms with that. I'm not good at this game. I'm not going to get first. I'm not going to make it to the end, to the finale. No. It's way easier to make other people lose rather than to compete against them to win. While everyone was studying the game and preparing to position in places and also do these shortcuts, I had a different plan. I looked up all these locations to figure out when people would go for a skip, when people would go to use all their items for the last stretch of the race to gain as much ground as possible to snag a high position, so I can be waiting there with my arms open, ready to grief the ever-loving shit out of anyone unlucky enough to be in my sight. My goal in Poppet's Cup was simple: to make other people lose. At the end stretch of this race, I managed to pull down 3 separate people. My first one is when I hit Spiny Coin with the green shell, and then I managed to tag P-Jiggles with another one, and finally, as the cherry on top, I chucked the gold shell, right when I knew everyone would be scrambling to get to the end, and lo and behold it, my unfortunate victim.
No! Bro, what the fuck? I swear to God, that is just the stupidest shit. Like, what even hit me?
Toad's Factory went fucking terrible. That's literally all I can really say about it. I'll sum it up in 3 different interactions.
This is diabolical!
But the next map went a little different.
Yep. It's like
Awesome real gamer hours. I respect it.
Skill issue.
Thanks
Just
for the follow.
play later.
I don't know who it is. I'm flattening little C because I feel like it. Oh, that is not
putting the
what
little into the little Z.
But I'm back in.
I'm sorry for this. Let's go, let's go,
Oh my god, I get him one time, bro.
Let's go!
After being flattened, I was in 23rd. I knew that there was one last item box here before the huge bend, and I knew that was my only chance in order to clutch up and get a better position. With the items, I was hoping for a bullet bill or a star with a mushroom combo, but getting triple mushrooms and a gold one wasn't the worst, so I really had to make do with it. The only problem was that with no invincibility, if I got hit during any point of the last stretch, I was cooked. To make matters worse, when I started using the mushrooms, Voidable right in front of me used a star. I'd lose too much time if I cut outside to avoid being hit, so this looked really doomed. So I took a huge risk. I positioned myself to start charging up a Tailwind boost, holding onto the golden mushroom, not using it just yet. Normally around this bend, you would do a hard drift in, but I had a way different plan. I went straight forward, predicting that Voidable would actually drift and hug the wall. That choice actually paid off, as I barely timed my mushroom usages to keep up the speed, but not fast enough to collide into the star. Keep in mind, I still had the Tailwind boost going on, so I really had to pray my reactions were on point. Finally, I made one last risky play. I noticed that in the final part of Boo's Cinema, there are these rails that you're supposed to actually grind on. However, during one of my laps, I hella fumbled a turn and ran into it. I was trying to grind on top of it to get used to the mechanics of this game, but when I messed it up, I actually didn't lose too much speed. I kind of rode alongside the curve. That actually gave me a good idea. I remember watching an F1 racer actually accelerate into a turn, grinding against the curved wall, instead of the usual where you slow down or try to drift. I didn't know if it was gonna work, but I just crossed my fingers and hoped for the best, timing my mushroom boosts, and what would you know? I hit that angle and I was able to maintain my speed while continuously using the mushrooms, and I was able to zoom past everyone at that last section, clutching up from 23rd to 15th. That did a lot for my confidence, as I knew that I was pretty bad at this game, but those kind of on-the-fly decision makings that I'm generally really good at kind of gave me a little bit more hope that I was going to avoid the fraud allegations and not get last place. Then something really, really funny happened.
Top 8 for the year.
Time. Yeah. But the thing is, like, the decent.
Wait, what? You're kidding me.
No way.
When we got that notification, everyone was panicking because it essentially put our entire cup on a countdown, because we wouldn't know what would happen during this time, but the prediction was that it would either kick everyone out, or as long as we stayed in this lobby, we wouldn't be booted out, essentially the game waiting for everyone to just kind of disconnect. DK Pass was next, and there's a very popular skip at the very start of the race. A lot of people will attempt this jump here, where you do a jump and then you hit the pole where you can wall jump off of it and land back on the track. So I knew that if I just drift outwards, I can dissuade people from trying to attempt the skip by literally body blocking them. And when I saw that no one took the skip behind me, I considered that a win in my book. Oh, remember Voidable?
Money.
And it begins. And it begins.
But nothing could compare to the ending of DK Pass. On the final stretch, on the last item boxes, I had the most optimal items I've ever seen. I had triple mushrooms and a bullet bill. But this is where my intuition was kicking in, and I was going to attempt a hard read. The most optimal thing to do here was to simply just drift inwards and then use the mushrooms to boost across this little corner area where it would normally slow you down. That would be the right thing, but I had a bad feeling. If you look at the map, there are some racers that are super far behind, and I was really terrified that a lightning would come into play at the last final stretch. So, instead of going for the optimal mushroom usages, I actually spammed all three of them in a quick succession to get the bullet bill out there. The bullet bill, instead of curving to the right that I was hoping to, actually just kind of stayed more to the track. At this point, I thought I really shot myself in the foot.
You should kill yourself now!
Oh yes! Yes! Oh my god!
Just kidding. I am the smartest player in the goddamn world. And Voidable,
I went from first to 23rd from a blue shell. I hate my life.
I'm sorry. That's my fault. Now, DK Spaceport, on the other hand, was a complete wash for me. I was able to rely on muscle memory for DK Pass due to it being in previous games that I played, but DK Spaceport was a brand new addition to this game, and I raced terribly. I think I fell off the map 3 or 4 different times, but at the final stretch, I just barely was able to not get last place, and unfortunately for Ulti, I just was able to slide in front of her. To make things worse, server maintenance has officially started. For the next map, we loaded it up and hoped that it would start, and thank goodness it did. But we weren't out of the woods yet because it could shut down in the middle of our race, so we just kept trying and really didn't want to think about it. On my end, the race was going quite terribly. I was in the back of lap number 3, but it's been a while since the last Lightning, and my intuition last time on DK Summit didn't fail me. But this time I decided to flex and say it out loud.
It's a Lightning.
Dude, when's the shot should be coming soon, no?
The moment you hear someone say this guy like lightning. Guys, we need to stick
Yes!
to
Oh my god, you were not kidding.
On the last stretch, I decided to take the outside path due to the fact that everyone was clamoring for the inside, and I really didn't want to get hit with any items and miss an item box for the last stretch. But since we were all so close together, I knew everyone would get a golden mushroom, so it was really just a mash off and a race against time. I was able to get a nice little 10th place for my efforts.
I pop it right before people cross the
Alright, Dino Jungle.
Team's
Let's
fine,
do
team's
it.
fine.
Lock in, lock in, lock in.
Dino Jungle was probably the smoothest experience I had during the race. Hell, I was even able to hit this really cool trick. Not really a shortcut, so to say, but it was kind of cool doing this on the fly. And the best part about it is that I was still able to grief other players. In the last stretch after I used all of my mushrooms, I saw that I had triple greens. Knowing that the bridge up ahead is super narrow, I just decided to let ROG decide who was going to get hit. Lo and behold, I was able to score 7th, and my 2 unfortunate victims at the end, I'm sorry. Unfortunately, from here on out, it got really rough. It seemed that my luck ran out, and getting Mario Karted is just destiny to everyone. Unfortunately, I couldn't run from it either. In the next few races, I was placing near the back in all of them, whether it be to my own fumble or just plain unlucky moments. But hey, it happens, and I was just fully locked in. All I could do was just shake my head and smile and say that's how Mario Kart works, because to be honest, we've all been there. I was the one dealing it out, and sometimes you really just gotta take it yourself.
Good luck, everyone.
You too.
Good luck. Let's do this.
I know you're expecting some dramatic ending, the dramatic finish to this race, but in all honesty, Rainbow Road was something beautiful to me. This is the first time I was actually able to see Rainbow Road at all in this game, and I will tell you right now, I was mesmerized by how beautiful this stage was. I wasn't particularly focused, but I was just enough in order to, not get last place, and hopefully secure my way to not get last or second to last at the overall ending. But in the meantime, it just looked fantastic. Being able to see the beautiful skies, the nice little area where you go into the liquid, that was really sick. And honestly, just seeing how far Mario Kart has gone and Nintendo games have been for me was just something I was just able to really appreciate. And in that moment, I kind of felt at peace. I wasn't really focused on any strategies. All I wanted to do was just to keep doing my best. And in all honesty, it was worth it. I'd give a lot to be able to experience Rainbow Road for the first time again, because it was gorgeous. There's no real other way of putting it. It was just beautiful. I finally was able to cross the finish line, and at this moment, everyone was worried whether they would get into the top 8 finale, so they could try to get first place in the next racing section, but in all honesty, I knew I wasn't even close. But I did want to make sure I wanted to avoid the fraud allegations. And lo and behold, victory in my hands, griefing other people, making sure I got this far. I saw that I was not in last place, I was not first to lose, but I achieved my goal of avoiding those fraud allegations. Usually I'm getting last place, but this time, baby, I fucking did it. Didn't even bother staying for that top 8 where everyone was doing for the whole race thing. Nah, let this be a message for y'all. A lot of these videos and all these times, people will show off how they're winning, how they're able to secure that first place, second place, third. But in all honesty, the most part about any video game is to have fun. Even if it's in a competitive setting like this, I made sure that my expectations were not only realistic, but I didn't really care if I lost or not. Just being able to enjoy the entire journey. I encourage everyone else to just really remember that.